Boss Man Show with the Montana Bobcats' new head coach, Coach Danny Sprinkle. Coach Sprinkle, how things up there in Montana, man?
It feels great. We just finished up a road trip on the eastern side of the state last night. Me and the AD drove about probably 20 hours in the last 3 days and saw a bunch of donors and boosters and fans, and the excitement was awesome. It's been great to be back home.
Yes, indeed. And Coach, taking this gig at your alma mater has to feel really good because you played there, you're assistant coach there previously, and you're the head coach. So it all comes full circle for you now. So how's it feeling, man, just to know that, hey, I own this program, I can put my staff on it, I can get us back to prominence in the big sky?
It's awesome. And, it's a ton of pressure. I mean, most of it's just pressure I put on myself. But, just knowing, obviously, from playing here and how much pride people have in the state of Montana in the basketball program at Montana State, and just, being able to just kind of hold that mantle for a couple of years and just, get these things rolling and just, make the alums proud, the former players proud. And that's what motivates me when I come to work every day.
Yes, it did, Coach. So what have your days been like? They're like 20-hour days. I know we got a lot of things going on when you're the new coach. So how long has your days been so far?
You about hit it right on the head. It's about 20 hours. It's I wake up about 4 a.m, start making some East Coast calls and texts and getting back to people, and and then it ends about midnight. And but the good thing is I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now, and I know it's going to hit me once I finish up recruiting and finish up my staff and get guys out of school. And probably about mid-May I'm going to have to take about 48 hours and just sleep.
I hear that, Coach. I hear that, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And right now for you, like I said, now you're the head man in charge. You're going from making suggestions now to you actually got making the decision. So how's that process been, knowing that, hey, the buck stops at me now and the final call is mine?
It's awesome. It's funny. You mentioned Dedrick Taylor, who I worked for at Cal State Fullerton earlier, and he told me now too. He's like, yeah, all this, you had all these great suggestions, and now all of a sudden it's time to put your money where your mouth is. And we joked about it, but it's going to be fun. It's fun when you're just sitting down and you're locking eyes with your players, and and like you said, the buck stops with you. The one thing I've really noticed in the 2.5 weeks is just the amount of decisions that you have to make every day. I mean, it could be 100 little decisions, it could be a big decision, but everything is basically, you're the final decision, and, you take a great responsibility, when you take a head job.
Got there right, Coach. And the good thing about the timing of taking the job is you get to kind of recruit the guys on the roster now. And before finals here come up, you can actually get on the court with them a little bit in between all your busy duties you got going on.
Yes. No, it's been fun. That's the biggest thing. When I first, the first week I was here, I met with each player, and gave them about an hour, and I just let them talk. I just let them talk, asked a couple questions, but it's amazing what you find out, when you just let them vent, you let them talk. You learn a lot about not only them as a person, but, how their experience has been so far. And, that's the way, that I really learned from Dedrick, and obviously from Coach Braswell when I was at Coach Bobby Braswell when I was at Cal State Northridge for a long time, is it was always a two-way street. Like they took input from the players, because obviously that's the most important people in our program, and that's something I really want to incorporate here. Is they're invested, and this is their program. This is their program, and I want them to have input.
There, right, Coach. One thing Dedrick always talked to me about is player development and developing young men in the classroom and on the court. So having the 4 hours now, up from 2 hours, which it used to be, there's someone to work with the guys and develop them as men, develop them as players, develop their mindset. And I can only imagine how excited you are about the development piece of your team going forward.
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously, at Fullerton, we had a hashtag on our social media stuff, and there's hashtag develop you, just the letter U. And, we took an enormous amount of pride of, player development, getting guys better, getting freshmen. And by the time they were juniors and seniors, being all conference guys. And then obviously off the court, we had a bunch of different seminars, and we're going to do the same thing at Montana State where, they're learning about different things. I want guys to experience Montana. They can go floating and rafting on the river where you can't do that in Los Angeles. Now you can go to the beach, but there's things in Montana that you can't do anywhere else. And that's what makes it special. And I want, that's developing them for later on in life. A guy that I played with, one of the best players, Quadre Lawless. He lives on a lake now in Indianapolis because he learned how to fish when he was in Montana. And
wow.
Just little things like that. And it's, it's awesome because he would have never fished if he didn't come to Montana. And so, he played for about 18 years overseas and was one of the best players ever here. But, that's the kind of stuff I want to, incorporate with these guys. I want them to experience different things that Montana has to offer. If they're from Phoenix, that like stuff that they can't get in Phoenix. That's what I want to expose them to.
And I think Montana State will be good for some guys out here in Atlanta who need to get away from home, because I feel like sometimes guys here stay here because they don't want to leave Georgia, but they need to experience life. Like for me, I'm from Florida, went to school in Tennessee for a reason. I know I couldn't get nothing done if I was in Florida with around all my friends. I do it about myself. So I could get my degree and have my career blossom the way it has. So I think young men need to look outside the box, not only sticking to their home area, but like Montana State, you go out there and get a great education, pay for a coach who knows the university, and learn more about life and come back better for it. But I think some of these young men are these ways to staying close to home and be around all their friends.
No question. And it's, whether it's a junior college kid, whether it's a high school kid, you can always go back to Atlanta. You can always go back to New York. You can always go back to Los Angeles, wherever you're from. But like you said, the experiences you can learn at Montana State University, it's different. It's different than Dallas, Texas, and it's something where I think it's always great. And even though I didn't do it because obviously I'm from Montana and came and played here, but when I went to Los Angeles coaching, like I learned so many different things because I was out of my comfort zone. And I want to bring players here that, it is out of their comfort zone. Yeah, it's going to snow. Yeah, it'll be cold in the winter, but you're going to be in the gym anyways. And so, but for them to be able to experience that, like you said, when you went to Tennessee, you get away. You learn to grow as a man. You have to grow up. You're out of your comfort zone. And now look at where you're at now. You made it. If you would have stayed in Florida, you probably wouldn't be doing this.
You're correct, and I can trust and believe that. That's so true, because if I stayed in Florida, I wouldn't have got nothing done at UCF. I can guarantee you that.
No doubt about that. Yeah, and God forbid you went down to Miami. Yeah,
I wouldn't have gotten nothing done.
Yep.
And Coach, let me ask you this. I keep kind of hit on this, but at Montana State, I think you guys can really go after 5 different kinds of players. High school seniors, you can get JUCO guys, a grad transfer, or a transfer who will sit one and play 2 or 3 for you, or sit one, play one, or international guys, because you got so many schools out there on the West Coast, and guys need a second chance as well. And you got to provide that for them. If they went to a school, didn't get the punch they wanted to, or what have you. You walk and provide them a great platform in the Big Sky, because if you play ball and put out great tape, somebody will find you. You will play overseas or in the NBA or the G League or whatever. If you just play the right way, put out there good fit film, somebody will pick you up.
No doubt. And that's what's so great about nowadays, probably compared to when we were growing up, is with social media, it doesn't matter what level you go to. You just have to find the best fit for you academically, socially, and style of play on the court. Because NBA scouts, they're going to find you if you're in junior college, if you're Division II, Division III, NAI. It doesn't matter nowadays. If you can play, you can play. In fact, I think there's a kid in Atlanta that's going to be a first-round draft pick that was he might have been at Clark. I'm not sure on it, but I know there's a kid in Atlanta.
Yep, you're right.
He's a first-round draft, and I don't know if it's an NAI or Division II, and obviously I'm not from that area of the country, but obviously the kid could play. Yeah, and so he picked the right fit for him. Where if he'd have went to Georgia Tech, who knows if he's getting drafted? He might get stuck behind an All-American. So I think it's really critical that, and I think that's what is special about Montana State, is we can get kids like that. We can get a kid that may have went to Washington or Oregon and they bounce back because, for whatever reason, they might not get the playing time they want, or, they're kind of a role player there where they can come here and really be special and flourish and be an all-league guy, which you have to have data. You have to have stats in order for, professional scouts overseas or in the NBA or G League to be able to decipher what you can do on the court.
got that right, Coach. And we'll ask you about the non-conference scheduling. I know you got to go out to play some guarantee games to raise money for the school, but beyond those
Yep.
guarantee games, what kind of games do you want to schedule for your program to make the non-conference schedule very challenging for your guys to get them ready to play the Big Sky, because you know the Big Sky is going to be tough with Montana, with Montana degrees with Coach DeCure. You got Shante Leggins
Yep.
out there at Eastern Washington, Randy Ray down at Weaver, Barrett over at Portland. So you got guys in that league that's going to give
The
bring it
beast.
every night. so
No doubt. It's
so how
a
you going to go
beast.
that schedule, man?
It's I want to play different styles in the non-conference schedule. That way, because there's so many teams in the Big Sky that play different. Some are slow, grinded out. Some are going to be a zone defensive team. Some are going to be like Barrett at Portland State. They're going to play fast. So I want to expose our guys early in the year to different styles, so they know how to play against different styles. So when we get to league, it's not the first time they've ever seen a team that plays fast. Obviously you do have to play some guarantee games, to get our budget sufficient. And I have 3 guarantee games that I still need to get. So if you know anybody that wants to pay like $120,000, tell them to call me. So, but one thing I want to do too is play some regional teams, but also like guys that I recruit, I want to get them close to home too. If we sign a kid from Atlanta, I want to play a game during his time here, against Georgia or Georgia Tech. Somebody I want to bring him home to where his friends and family can see him play, in a Bobcat uniform. I think that's important. Obviously, they're making a sacrifice to come all the way to Montana, so that's the least I could do for them. But I want to play a challenging schedule. We have a good schedule this year. We play South Dakota State at home this year. They've obviously been tremendous the last 4, 5, 6 for a while now. We have to go at North Dakota State, who was young. They went to the NCAA tournament this year, and so it's going to be a brutal schedule. We got Green Bay at our place, and I want to try and get at least 2, 3 home games against Division I teams a year because, our fans deserve that. We're going to get great crowds and, it's a fun atmosphere to play in.
Yes, indeed. And Coach Sprinkle, man, excuse me, I like to ask guys this question as well about coaches who really inspired you, people who inspired you in the business. I know Coach Taylor really helped you out a lot. Who are some of the coaches in your career, people, individuals who really helped you, mold you into the coach you are today, and how the coach you're going to be now at Montana State?
Yeah, obviously the first one was my father, Bill Sprinkle. He played football at University of Washington, and then he coached football for a long time, in high school, college, and obviously that was my idol, and that's who I wanted to be, still want to be like him. And then other than that, obviously Bobby Braswell gave me my first job at Cal State Northridge, and I knew him from playing against him because Northridge was in the Big Sky back then, and he gave me my first job. I worked with him for 11 years. We went to the NCAA tournament twice. Probably the hardest job in the league, and just have an enormous amount of respect for him. Not only as a coach, but he really developed me as a person. Just the way he handled things daily and how he challenged me daily really helped me, especially as a young coach. And then obviously, Brad Hughes, who I worked for a couple of years here, was tremendous. And he's still in the community here, and I'm going to be meeting with him a lot. And then obviously Deidre Taylor at Fullerton the last 6 years. And just going from rebuilding that program from scratch into 3 straight, postseason appearances, 2 in the CIT and obviously 1 in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, and just how he taught me how to think differently. You could come to him with ideas and he would challenge you and be like, okay, well, why is that going to work? What if they do this? And he really, my awareness with him, just went to a different level. And, I wouldn't be ready if I didn't, any 3 of those guys, if I didn't have any one of them, I wouldn't be ready for this opportunity, because I've really learned a lot from each one of them.
Yes, indeed, with Coach Sprinkle. I tell you what, man, I'm learning a lot from you just right now. Just talking to you, I feel a passion you have for Montana State Bobcats. Like I said, man, I look forward to talking to you down the road. Would have you on the show more often, man. Like, if you ever got a kid in Atlanta you want to talk about it, let me know. Let us talk about it, because I love when young men from Atlanta go out and hear him play college ball. I love to talk about them with the coaches, because I feel like it gives the kids here hope and promise that they do the right things. They can have the same spotlight and the same opportunity as well.
No doubt. Let's definitely stay in touch. And anytime you need us on the show or anything with Montana State University, you let me know. And once I get down, I don't know. Do you know Bobby Height? I know he works with CSE.
I do.
the agency down there. Yeah, and he's a great friend of mine, so I'm gonna be coming down there quite a bit to see him, and obviously me and Diedrich will be down there too, I'm sure.
All right, because I'll definitely text you off the air and say my information because we can never stay in contact when you're in town. Let her go to the Waffle House with you or wherever you like, Taco Mac. We got all kinds of stuff
no
you
doubt.
to eat.
No doubt. I can't even remember the name of it. Me and Diedrich would always go right off the airport. It's it's a soul food. It's a seafood place. It's right outside the airport. Now, first off, Diedrich goes to the Waffle House like 9 times a day, by the way, too. So
Yes,
next time
he
you
does.
have him on air, you
Yes.
got to ask him about that. 'Cause, man, he should have stock in Waffle House. But there's it begins with an S, I think. It's a great little kind of soul food place right next to the airport. I'll get the name of it next time we talk. I'll bring it up.
Yes, indeed. Hey, this is it barbecue. This is it seafood. I'm telling you what, there's all kind of great food here in the ATL. And when coaches come to town, they'll take them out to eat, man. They give them some good food, show y'all hospitality down here in the South, man. But so, Coach, for you in
That's
town,
right, baby.
look forward to have you, man. So I'm excited for you in the job. And you know my man Diedrich, I know you're a great guy, so look forward to meeting you as well, Coach.
You bet. Thanks, man. Good talking with you.
All right, folks, it's Dane Sprinkle here on the Boss Man Show.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer, all the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know all the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, enjoy the Boss Man Show with the new coach, Georgia State Panthers coach Rob Lanier. Coach, man, glad to have you in ATL, man, leading the Panthers. How's it feel?
Man, it's been awesome. It's been a whirlwind, as you could imagine. Just everything happened so quickly, JR. But my family and I couldn't be more excited. And great people at the institution in the city. It's a great basketball city, and I'm just excited, man, to get settled in and get to know everybody. It's been an exciting time.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, you have name value nationally because you was at Tennessee, you was at Siena, different in Texas as well. People know who you are. So I think by you being successful at your previous stops, you know how to build a program, guys are going to want to play for you because they know they play for you. They're going to have a chance to play professionally, whether it be overseas, NBA, or in the G League.
Yeah, player development is going to be a huge part of what we do. And we do take pride in the fact that we've, over the years, helped guys get better. And part of that is, guys being self-motivated and putting that together with a staff that's really motivated to help young people on and off the court. A lot of good things will happen. And so, we're the energy, man, since I've been here, has been so awesome because there's so many people that have reached out that want to see us succeed. And that is just awesome. That's probably has stood out to me more than anything is how many people that I don't know who genuinely have reached out and said, we want to do whatever we can to help you be successful. And that means a lot.
And, Coach, so you know, Georgia State is actually Atlanta school. The city of Atlanta claimed Georgia State. Not so much Tech or Kennesaw or Clark or Morehouse or Spelman. Georgia State is like the city school. And so the city of Atlanta loves that school like no other, and the city will want to help this school succeed. So I can tell you from living here, this Georgia State is the city school. It's a school the city always backs up and is behind always.
Yeah, I feel that, JR, and it means a lot to me, and it's an honor to be the one to represent that. And I got the sense when I met with Dr. Becker and Charlie Cobb that they're really in touch with that they want this to be Atlanta's school, not just from a basketball standpoint, but just as a university like you're talking about. And so it's an honor for anybody to be leading a program that's prominent on that campus. And so I'm not going to take that lightly.
And, Coach, as you probably know, a new arena's coming soon, hopefully down there by Turner Field. So you're going to have that down there in that nice place I saw the article on it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play in that building. And I know your guys are excited about what you bring to the table, the player development piece, Coach. And I know relationship with your players has probably been the best part of the job so far, because that's the main thing. Because you bought into those players, you're their guy now. You believe in them, took this job, believing in them, so that makes these guys feel really, really good to know that you have their back going forward.
Yeah, you know what? I got a lot of respect for Ron Hunter and the staff that was here. I've always had respect for them from the outside looking in. I know how hard this business is, and anybody that's had the kind of success that Ron has had has obviously done a great job. And he surrounded himself with good people. And now that I've been at the school working out with these guys, I feel that way even more because they recruited good players. They knew what they were doing. And so I'm excited about that. And they've created a situation where I think a lot of kids, like you said, want to be here. So we embrace that, and we're going to try to carry it forward. And that's an exciting challenge for me and for my staff.
The thing about Georgia State is, Coach, that if you go to Georgia and you don't get to what you want to go, even Tennessee or wherever in the South, Auburn, Alabama, you come to Georgia State and still play well. You can be a world beater in the Sun Belt Conference. You can get seen, because my thing about this, Coach, is I tell young men all the time is, if you put out good tape, they'll find you. If you put up the right numbers, they'll find you. So I don't care if Georgia State, even Kennesaw or Mercer, if you do your thing, you will get seen. And being Georgia State in Atlanta is really going to get seen if you come there and play well. So I feel Georgia State's a great school for a second chance as well. Would be a JUCO guy, grad transfer guy wanting one more chance, or a transfer guy who needs to sit one and play 2 or 3 for you. So I feel like it's a great spot. And you can get an international kid or a high school senior if you want to.
Yeah, and we're going to approach it all of the above. You know, I think part of the reason that so many mid-major programs have success in the NCAA tournament, by and large, is because they have older kids that have been through it, whether it's by way of transfer or that they've been in the program for 3 or 4 years. And the success that we had recently at Tennessee was really a great illustration of that we had a lot of kids that people didn't want, that people didn't think was good enough. And we got them. We worked really hard. They got better. And we had veteran players in our program. I mean, very rarely do you have kids that have had a losing season as a freshman or sophomore and then be ranked number 1 in the country for 4 weeks as a junior and senior. So those experiences, I think, kind of set the stage for the way I see how we need to put our program together. And so I think that's a good example for us of like how having older guys can help you win. And you get that way from having experienced guys like Kane Williams in the program, or guys who have transferred back and had success. And we're going to explore all of those opportunities.
I know Ron Hunter used to tell me all the time that Georgia State is transfer you. So he used to always tell me all the time it was transfer you. It's redemption you. So I believe that, and I see you can go through that same process with Georgia State. And, Coach, I know you can love this. You got 4 hours in similar time to work with these guys. It was true for a long time. But having 4 hours that you can do some skill development work, some team work, and get these guys fully invested in your system. Because I don't know if you're going to play the zone Ron played. I know you will probably play more man. So and teach them those principles you want to teach them on defensively. But I know having the 4 hours can really be good for you guys going forward.
Yeah, that's a really great point, JR. Like, we're going to need the summer, those 7 weeks when we're together. We absolutely got to make the most of that opportunity because, again, you know, I say to people all the time, we're not rebuilding because Ron has built a great program, but we are going to be reshaping it some because we're going to do things a little bit differently. And I've been in situations where, you know, you're making a change simply because you do things differently a little bit yourself. And so there'll be some change, and we'll play some zone just to ease some of the transition because they were so good at it. And at the same time, we're going to play the way we know best how to play, and that's going to be man-to-man for us.
Yes, indeed. And I know, Coach, non-conference scheduling-wise, Georgia State, I don't know how many guarantee games you have to play, but a lot of schools mid-major play guarantee games. But I know besides those games, are you going to try to play teams like Kennesaw, Mercer, go SEC, play Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, again, kind of get those guys from that tough test because you want to go to the NCAA tournament, get them a little feel for it in November and December there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We're going to try to play a tough schedule. You know, our goal is one day to get an at-large bid. And so as we build the schedule and as we grow as a program, we'll figure out the best way to do it. Obviously, the last 10, 12 years, I've been doing scheduling at the Power 5 level. And our philosophy was always to try to play one of the best schedules in the country. And we've done that every year. Now, scheduling is a little bit different at this level, so we got to find a way to optimize the schedule, with a new landscape, being at a more of a mid-major program. But also, if we're going to play in a new building in several years, we need to get people to come there. And we're going to do our best to try to utilize the schedule to create an opportunity that we can get some of the power teams to come in and play at our building in Atlanta and create that sort of excitement as well.
Yes, indeed. And, Coach, I want to ask you this, man, because I don't really know about your background a little bit. Who are some coaches that really had a profound impact on you in your career, lead you to the point you are today, leading the Panthers here in the ATL?
You know what? Everybody I've worked for has had a real impact on me one way or another. Early in my career, at age 21, I was hired by a guy by the name of Jack Armstrong at Niagara University as a graduate assistant. But at that time, the graduate assistant had a lot of responsibility. I was in graduate school, but I was also the strength and conditioning coach. I was the academic coordinator, and I had coaching responsibilities on the court because at that time you were allowed to do all of those things as a graduate assistant. And things have changed. I think they're kind of turning back that way now, but that was the norm back then. And so I did that for 2 years for a guy who was super organized, super meticulous, and I learned a lot about organization from being around him and being in that program. And then I spent 5 years with a gentleman by the name of Jim Barron at St. Bonaventure University, which is my alma mater and his. And I worked for a guy in Jim who was the ultimate positive individual in terms of always seeing things through a positive lens and always feeling like things were going to work out because of how hard we were going to work. His glass was always half full, if you will, and he was a great program builder. So being around that energy was positive for me. And then I had the opportunity to be around Rick Barnes, and I got to develop a little bit more of a blueprint of, all right, how would I do things if I had my own program? Dave Lato, I worked for at University of Virginia, who had spent 15 years with Calhoun at UConn, and so I got a feel for that and his personality and how good of a communicator and competitor he was. And then I spent 4 years with Billy Donovan, who's one of the best offensive coaches in the game, particularly in the college game. So much so that they had to have him in OKC.
Yes, indeed.
So he was a great role model for me as it relates to scouting and the offensive game, pick and roll defense. And so I learned a great deal from him and created a great relationship with him. And then I spent the last 8 years with Rick again, and he was at a different point in his career when I came back to him, and I was at a different point in mine. And so I had a bigger, more significant role in what we were doing. And all of those things have contributed to my development as a coach.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, you're going to do a great job. And it's funny, Coach, I've had on Anthony Grant, John Pelfrey, Eddie Shannon, Matt McCall. They all swear by Billy Donovan and what he's done for their careers. And I'll tell you what, I've met him a few times when he comes to play the Hawks, and he's always been a great guy to talk to.
Yeah, absolutely. Good man.
Now, Coach, I covered the NIT a little bit this past year with following Lipscomb around, and I saw some of the rule changes they were experimenting with, the lane, the three-point line, the resetting of the fouls. Are you a guy that wants to see them maybe go to a quarter system, go to the 5-team fouls, the three-point line, go out a little bit farther, maybe advance the ball with a timeout into the game maybe? Are those some rules you want to see them maybe implement real soon here?
As a fan, I like it, but as a coach, I don't. And the reason why, and never mind the specific rules per se, but I think the college game is special. I think it has its place. And I don't necessarily, as a coach, feel like there should be this great need to make the game more like the NBA. I think the game should be true to the college game. And once they change the rules and guys should be able to go straight to the NBA from high school, I think they should, and that's another discussion for another day. But I'm not sold on the game having to change and go that way. I think the game should be special. It should be distinct, and guys who want to play the college game should play the college game, and the college game should have its own personality. they want to move the line back, I'm okay with that and opening up the floor. And I want to use the 3-point line. So I'm good with that move back to the international line. I think that's good for the spacing and such. But I'm not a proponent of continuously making the game the same as the NBA. If they are going to do that, then the discussion about playing the players and all of that takes on more substance. But if it's really true that we want the game to be unique and special, then let's not go out of our way to make it like the NBA game.
I hear that, Coach. Now, Coach, you're from New York, so are you a Giants or you a Jets fan?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay, so you're a Buffalo Bill fan then. So
there
that's,
you go.
That's
you know what?
That's one team in New York anyway.
Yeah, they kind of wore me out, but I fought through all 4 of them Super Bowl appearances and everything.
Now, I gotta tell you, when you all came to the stadium, the Bills did, it was more Bills fans louder than the Falcon fans were. It threw me off. Like, they came down, ATL made a Bills home game, and Matt Ryan going to a silent count. I'm like, what? The Bills Mafia was crazy, man.
Any fan base that can weather that climate up there for football games, you got a passionate fan base, and there's probably not a more passionate fan base in the NFL than the Buffalo Bills fans.
Yes, indeed. And Josh Allen, I think, is going to do some things for you guys here real soon, Coach. So I'll definitely be hitting you about your Bills, man, because I know how the football season goes, man. The Falcons and the Bills always give us both headaches, probably, because they always check us down through them, man. But, hey, Coach, I am happy that you're in town. I'm glad you got this job. When I heard you might get the job, man, it made me excited. I said, my man will be right in the ATL with me. I like that. Sure. So, Coach, thank you for your time today, man. Get you some players out there this weekend. We evaluate these guys and get this thing going, man.
I appreciate it, Jay. Thanks, man.
Anytime, Coach.
Take care.
All right, it's Rob and their people on the Boss Man Show.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love. Somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, back here on the Boss Man Show. Time for this week's Bad Take segment. And to start us off, we're going to go old school. We have a listener email pertaining to a topic of online dating, but it's not spelled anywhere near. We'll let Jay break this all down with me. So, Jay, read this pathetic email from this listener who butchered our names and wants to get back into the dating scene, obviously.
Oh, yeah, our names were butchered. It's not even a close call. Malibu Heroda X and Purified Taliana Chanique.
That is nowhere near. When I become Muslim.
And when I become purified.
Exactly. Like, what?
I me recently sing Gale. I me entering and oiling dating. What's cool oiling dating? Paces, Hanks, Carlos.
So, to decode this jabroni's Morse code he sent us, the clown is saying he's recently single, which maybe is his spelling, Jay. Maybe that's why he's recently single. The woman said, I can't take your spelling anymore. He said he wants to enter, quote, oil line dating. Now, Jay, he spelled online OILLEIN. My man. That's why you're trying to oil a car or something. Oiling. Like, get that AutoZone or something, my man. Like, really? Like, online, not oiling, or whatever you said you're trying to do. Dating. What's some cool online dating places? Hanks, my man, Stanks, not Hanks. We never closed an email or salutation or closing by saying, quote, Hanks. That's thanks, my man. And secondly, my name is not Malibu Heroda X. Her name is not Purified Tlina Chanique. I don't know where you got that from. I'm not praising Allah, and she's not a type of oil for your skin, my man, that you get at Walgreens. Get your mind right. So, on the show, we've talked about online dating and passing. My man, recently single. First of all, mixing a spell check, okay? That might help you. Because the woman can't know what you're saying. She's not going to respond to your message, my man. I'm just saying. Now, this is my personal thoughts, Jay. You can chime in whenever you're ready. If you're going to online date, even though those are not specifically online dating sites, I would do it via Facebook or Instagram. Reason being, you have more chances to see them as to who they are than you do on POF that I learned about, Tagged, OkCupid, Tinder, Black Partner, and Bumblebee, whatever else they got out there. I'd rather use the Facebook or Instagram because you're more likely to get a representation of who they are than you will on one of them other sites. And Twitter is a crapshoot at best. Unless they have post a lot of pictures on a Twitter feed, I wouldn't do Twitter because that profile pic could be a profile pic from years ago, and they may look like nothing like that today. So, my man, as you re-enter the Orlean dating, my man, take this advice and run with it. I'm gonna let Jay break it down for you and let you get her name wrong and our names wrong, and give you her take on your dumb email.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I'm going to piggyback right off of you real quick about the Facebook and Instagram, because I do agree with that 100% as far as online dating. And not only can you get to see somebody for who they really are and what their character is, or at least, as close as possible to it, you get to see who their friends are and how they interact with other people. And it just gives you more insight. You get to go through their profile and stuff like that. And sometimes you may even have the same mutual friends. That happens a lot. And also Instagram as well. Although Instagram, you don't necessarily add friends, it's more people following each other. You get to see more of who they are. Whereas POF and Tagged and the Cupid and stuff like that, anybody can put whatever they want in their profile. They're not really actually interacting or posting on their timeline or anything like that. So they could be really putting anything on there. You don't know who their friends are, who their family is, or anything about their character more so than what they're telling you.
And another trick is, too, go to Instagram places. Put in popular places in your town to find potentially women who you may like to follow or get to meet, and to follow you back. Send them a message. And on Instagram, you have an advantage. If they read your message, they don't send it until you can unsend it like it never happened. So, I'm just saying, my man, but your main problem going to be spelling, sir. Your dictionary, your diction, your grammar, your spelling is only a problem. So I'm going to need you to work on that. Mix in a Google Translate, mix in a dictionary, also when you type so they can understand what you're saying, my man. Because what you sent us today will get you no dates fast. Okay, I'm just telling you, my man. No dates fast.
None.
Now, you sound like you can be kin to my next take. Alvin, Jay, he gave me his annual take on, quote, Esther. Not Easter.
I gotta hear about this.
Esther. And he asked me, boss, ain't Esther when the three Icemen go see George jump off of the crossroads, right? The three Icemen.
Icemen? And who's George?
Guess he means Jesus. go see George jump off the crossroads. I said, Alvin, you're confusing two holidays, Alvin. Christmas and Easter. You're confusing them. No. I think Christmas is where they go find that puppy that was born, right? Down there by the eclipse star, right?
The puppy?
You made our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Alvin? Nah, boss. Puppy.
How are you gonna try to correct you?
Then he
You
asked
talking
me.
about a puppy was born on Christmas.
Exactly. And then he tells me, the boss, they was reading, in that holy box about the 10 condiments. And I heard him talking about nor his ox, nor his ass, nor his mason. I said, man, I had no idea that condiments had asses. Paper had asses.
Wow.
Mustard, they had the 10 condiments. So what does that mean, boss? They had grass, lettuce, fruit, apples. My man.
You mean commandments? Not condiments? There's condiments in the Bible, and it's not a holy box. It's a Bible.
I'm like, my man, please, when you go to church, listen, but don't have a take, because it's not working for you. Please.
I never heard somebody call the Bible the holy box.
The quote holy box when he told me it was. I'm like, what? The holy box? I'm like, my man, when you tell me that, I think of something else, my man. But I know what you mean. But I think of something else when you tell me the holy box, okay? My mind goes elsewhere because I'm just dirty like that. But my man, he's like, yeah, boss. These condiments and ox and asses, and I just didn't know condiments had asses. I ain't know grass, lettuce, apples, and fruit. Those aren't even condiments, first of all. It's the commandments.
Exactly.
The commandments? Nah, boss, the condiments. They tell me about some guy named Toses. And Toses led the people to somewhere, I think I was on the map. Let me see. This fool told me Tandil. You mean Israel? No.
Wow.
Tandil. And the Eastern Lights was with Toses as well.
Israelites?
My man, your take is pathetically bad.
Yeah, it really is.
And boss, and also in the box is this thing called the Old Testicles and the New Testicles.
Wow, okay.
What? My bad, that's Testaments. What? Boss, I know what I heard when I was at that container with the man in the road was telling us about the stuff, boss. Alvin, you heard wrong.
You heard very wrong.
Your takes are terrible. Like, my man, go to church. That's good for you. But when you go, I don't know how comprehend it better, my man. Because you can't tell me what you just told me, and it's a good take. It's a horrible take.
You can't go around telling everybody that. Old testicle, yes. The holy box, calling Jesus George.
The 3 Icemen. The Tandils, and Tandil. Like, to call it Moses Toses. Like, my man, how many bad takes did it one take?
A lot. At least 10 are right there.
Oh, yeah, Easter's Esther.
Yep. You had one main bad take, and then he had like the sub bad takes that went along with it all into one big bad take.
And I'm trying not to hit him in his face when he told me his stuff. I want to punch him, like, my man, this is horrible. Good for going
And
to
he
church.
meant it just like usual.
Good if you going to church, but bad if you misinterpreting what you heard.
He misinterpreted it that badly.
Ain't gonna give me these takes like these takes are the gospel. No, sir, they're not. You don't understand, boss. So I understand greatly. I get what you just told me is wrong. It's terrible.
Yes, it is.
Jay, have you ever heard somebody butcher an Easter take that bad?
Never. I've never heard somebody butcher Easter. I've never heard somebody butcher the Bible that badly. Or, I mean, he butchered multiple things, you know, associated with Easter and the Bible all at once.
I'm like, my man went to Sunday school and got lost.
Lost. And still can't find his way back.
It came to my office to tell me this week.
I'm sorry.
He rode the bus to tell me this take. Think about this. He rode the bus to tell me this take.
That's crazy. He couldn't just call? Text?
You had to come see me in my office to tell me this take that you laid out for me in 25 minutes of nothing.
Yep.
And I'm not getting to the other parts of his take that were horrible. But it was 25 minutes of those kind of takes on the Bible he gave me.
I feel bad for you. You had to sit there and listen to that for 25 minutes.
I would have come across the table and hit him in his face.
You hit him in the face?
I wanted to.
Oh.
It was crossing my mind every other second. When should I knock him out? He kept spewing this nonsense repeatedly to me. Like, dude,
like just nonstop.
It just got worse and worse and worse. Ain't talking about
that's what it sounds like. First it sounded like a simple bad take. He was calling Easter Esther, and then it just went downhill from there.
It went way left. But it's always with an Alvin take. The best part to me of Alvin, he just tries to correct me for his own error.
Yep. He does that a lot.
You're trying to correct me for your error, sir.
And you're right, and he's wrong.
The nerve of you, sir, to correct me for your bad take.
Yeah. Like, you try to tell him something, and he's like, no.
I know what I heard. That you heard wrong.
Exactly.
Like, he called the book Deuteronomy pastrami, Jay.
Oh, no, this is wrong.
Pastrami. It's reading pastrami about these 10 condiments. 10 condiments.
That man was hungry when he was in church. That's what happened.
You broke down me to quote 10 condiments, Alvin. Thou shalt not peel. Peel, my man? How about steal? I heard what he said, boss. You can't peel those nourishing potatoes. What?
Why would there be a commandment telling somebody they cannot peel potatoes?
This is what I'm talking about, how bad these takes were for the 25 minutes in my office talking about this garbage.
And then he just kept going.
I'm not calling the Bible garbage. I'm calling his takes garbage, people. His takes were garbage. He was mad I wouldn't agree with his takes. I'm not agreeing with this stupidity.
You can't agree with something when it's wrong.
Boss, you don't understand. No, I understand greatly. You're wrong. Nah, boss, you don't get this. Me, you, and Jeff need to go there, that holy container again.
Church?
Yeah. Alvin, I will not have you embarrass me in church like you've done to me in the past. Embarrass me in church. Ain't happening. Not doing it, sir. But yeah, he came by, rode the bus simply to tell me these things. He said he had a message for me. I'm like, okay, come by. That's what he was going to tell me. All this stuff, what I'm laying out here today on the bad take segment.
That was so unnecessary.
Hey, Alvin, my man. You gotta do better, Alvin. I'm telling you can't do that, Alvin. That is just a horrific take, Alvin. Like, no. And it was bad, Jay. And we're gonna have an extended bad take segment because let me talk about this real fast, Jay. This is gonna be it's in my wheelhouse to a degree. Today, on my way to the playoff game I'm covering, my Uber driver was almost hit because there was a heifer, I'm gonna call her a heifer, driving with some small dog in her lap while she's driving.
That's messed up. I'm tired of these people with these dogs in their laps driving.
That should be illegal.
It should.
It's like texting while driving, to a degree.
Yeah.
But worse, you have a live being in your lap. So she about hit my Uber driver because she got this dog in her lap while she's smoking a black.
Oh, man. This is adding more damage right there. Dog in lap and smoking a black at the same time while driving? Not a good combination.
Yeah. And she was like cussing the driver out. Like, no, you're in the wrong, lady. You could have killed us both because you're got Lassie in your damn lap, smoking a black and mild. I know what I'm doing.
Her fault.
No, you don't, obviously. Look, if you must ride Lassie in your lap, don't Lassie in the back seat or in the front seat, maybe. Preferably the back seat. I'm like, what are you doing? So, Jay, I'm not a police person. After they did that kid in Florida, I saw a video of this week. But there should be a law enacted about animals in your lap. I
agree.
Because
I agree.
We could have got injured today because she had dog in lap and smoking a black and mild.
Yep. And she wasn't paying attention.
You can't be running your hand through Lassie's hair while you're driving.
Nope.
Especially on a busy metropolitan street that we was on. In your little Toyota Sequoia. That half SUV you got.
The half SUV?
Get a real one. Spend less time on prepping up Lassie and get you a real car. Just saying. Yeah, like, she's smoking and she had on horrific eyebrow and she could tell she painted her eyebrows on. She had overly fuchsia lipstick, then go her face. You got this mealy head, creamy, shaggy Lassie in your lap, hitting my Uber driver. Terrible.
Oh man, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but I'm glad you're okay.
Yes, I'm glad too. I was like, damn, I'm trying to get to my job and heifer goes ain't paying attention about run us over. And Jay, before I left home to come to the city I'm in right now, one of my neighbors called an in-home emergency veterinary. Jay, I had no idea vets make house calls now.
I didn't know either. I honestly didn't.
My man put up in his emergency veterinary mobile and went in the house he's a mobile veterinary. I was shocked by that too.
We learn something new each day. I did not know they have mobile veterinaries that do house calls around the clock like that.
I was doing yard work and my neighbor's animal, a dog, came in my yard and wanted to bark at me. Like, this candy ass barking in my own yard. I don't understand that take.
Nerve.
I don't understand that dog's take. I said, you are a dumbass dog.
Are you serious?
I sure did. You are a dumbass dog with a dumbass take. In my own damn yard, fool.
Some of those dogs do that.
You are a dumbass. I'm in my own domain. Your dumb ass came over in my yard. He barked at me.
Yep.
That was my take to the to the sucker. And then I proceeded to run his ass out of my yard. He gonna bark me some more. They be like, what's wrong? He was only saying hi to you. I said, Stop. First of all, his ass can't talk. So he can't say hi to me, okay? That was my first take to my neighbor. Secondly, this fool knows I live over here. His dumb ass gonna bark at me in my own damn yard. He's gonna walk his little dumb four-legged ass over here and bark at me in my own damn yard. He was saying hi to me? I think not. If the clown is barking at me, it's not saying hi to me, that's saying I hate you. And guess what? I hate you back. We're even.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
My neighbor's like, don't say that about him. Lenny's a great dog. No, he's a dumb dog.
Great dogs don't go into somebody else's yard and start barking at somebody who's on their own property. I've seen dogs do that before, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, wait, hold up.
How
I
smart
thought
can
dogs were
Lenny
supposed to
be?
be protecting their own property.
Yeah, like, my man, you're barking at me in my own domain, sir. So, this dog, Jay, my yard's fenced up for various reasons. It's fenced up. So, this jabroni dog walked his dumb ass from his property on the side of the fence up my driveway to bark at me in my own yard as I throw away cardboard boxes out of my basement.
Some nerve of that dog. Oh, man.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And my neighbor who was Caucasian, trying to make an excuse for his animal. No. He's dumb as hell. Okay? Keep his stupid ass first out of my yard and in your house. So, yeah, that was this last weekend, my neighbors having an emergency veterinary come into the house, and my other neighbors, dog coming barking, I'm doing my own yard work. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then talk about with Alvin coming to my office. What a week I've had already.
Alvin was the worst one. That's my opinion. I think Alvin was the worst one. He took the cake.
Of course he did. And he always does. And it's like, dude, you don't make any sense, Alvin. You don't. Like, if I wanted to, I could make a whole show about Alvin's bad taste. It'll be about a 5-hour special. If I wanted to. Because I have some doozies over the years for Alvin. Some doozies. Like, doozies.
Yes, you do.
I still think when my man tried to, quote, fight the tornado with while spraying game was one of the worst.
He sure did.
It's one of the worst takes I've ever seen in my life. So you try to fight a natural disaster out of the sky while spraying game. That's your take. Okay.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I don't know what you can't top that. You can, but you can't. This is like people do better. So today's segment, I just want to do this today because it gets stuff off my chest, man. This is some crazy stuff going on in this world. And then my man Carlos with his bad spelling.
Horrible spelling.
I don't know how you don't get no dates spelling like that. No idea.
He's not.
I don't know what to tell the man. Like, my man, you gotta do better. Like, I don't know what woman's gonna go for that. Unless she's borderline remedial herself.
That would scare most women off the minute that they read it. They're already gonna be turned off. Like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with him. I don't even know what he's trying to say.
I wonder, does he talk like this? Or he has spells like this?
That's a good question.
I don't. But the problem is, he may talk to him, but he spells terrible. They be like, man, nah, we good. I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I'm moving on. I'm like, nah, player. So I think he's screwed. Anyway, he's screwed. He can't win.
Mm-hmm.
He can't win. Man. Oh, breaking news here. Travis Scott's being sued by DJ Paul for $20 million, saying he yanked the track to tear the club up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of coins right there. 20 million?
Yeah. I'm not too... I don't know about how how sampling goes. I'm gonna have to find out more about how the sampling laws are and how the fair use. I don't know how that works, but I know back in the day, Puff Daddy gets to get in trouble with Al Green, like them old singers still on their beats too. He was always in court trying to fight for these sample songs he shouldn't have sampled and used stuff he shouldn't have used. So in the hip hop world, I think Jay's problem is like most of these songs are based off of an old song because it's only so many beats you can make.
Exactly. That's why they also have the fair use law as well. You can't. Not everybody that comes with a melody necessarily stole a beat. They may not have even heard the beat before, and it just happens to sound similar.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that. Well, folks, that's Bad Takes for this week on the Boss Man Show. Extended version of Bad Takes. Check us out at bossmanshow.com.